Secret Fanboy. Alex's POV. I'm sorry, Mom, but trust me, I'm really trying. I told my mom and walked back to my room. It's hard to pretend that everything's fine and I got it when in reality I mess up every time, and now I'm scared to even face my own parents. This was my third attempt to get into college, but I failed. I failed again and again, and there's nothing I can do about it. But one thing I know is that I can't give up, and I will keep trying for their sake. I keep my bag aside and decided to take a shower to light my mind and get out of this world, this pressure and this cage for a while. Kate's POV. My flight landed right on time. I can't believe I'm officially in Germany, and there's nothing to stop me from following my dream. Except, I'm not fluent in the language. I don't have a lot of money and yet to find a place to live. But I'm happy that I could find a scholarship and take the burden off my mom. I decided to keep going and look for hostels near my new college, St. Carpa High, and settle here for the next 1 year, and hope to achieve the dream I saw since I was 7 years old. I moved out and started walking. On my way out, I found many hostels and cheap apartments, but still not cheap enough for me to stay for a year. God, I can't wait to make a lot of money and get out of this financial struggle, I screamed loudly while kicking an empty can on the road. There wasn't any time to give up, though, so I kept walking. Soon enough, I found a lousy, dull white-color building that read Tsukasa, which I guess meant your house? I entered inside, and it was a completely different building from what it looks from the outside. It was bright, colorful, and had quite a number of people near my age. I walked over to the register and found that the place perfectly fits my budget. I was so happy I immediately got a room and moved there. Alex's POV. My mom asked me to go over our hostel and check up on the new kids. When we shifted back from California 10 years back, my parents decided to build a hostel and pass it to me so I can pass it to the next generation, further as a family name. But how do I tell her that I hate doing this work? I hate pretending that I run the hostel and always go check up on people who move there, but after my grades today and another failed attempt to get into college, I can't really complain, so I pull my jacket and walk outside. Kate's POV. Ugh, I could really use some coffee right now. I say it out to myself and make my way outside to find a cafe nearby. I guess my luck is good today, I said when I saw a cafe right outside the hostel. Hi, can I get an espresso? I said, but no one heard. Hi, espresso? I said again louder this time, yet got response. I'm sure the problem was the language. I sigh and I walk out with my head down. I was exhausted already. As I was walking, I bumped my head into something firm yet hard. I looked up and saw a bunch of drunk kids standing in a shady vibe. I tried to make my way out of there, but I was held back and ganged up by everyone. Alex's POV. Not so long later, I reached the hostel Tsukasa, but heard some weird noise. I moved a little to the side and saw a bunch of drunk kids ganging up on some dude. I was about to walk towards them until the boy looked at me and I stopped without realizing I couldn't move. I was mesmerized when his eyes met mine, the most beautiful eyes I had ever seen. But my heart started to sink. I forced myself to move back and run towards the hostel. Kate's POV. I felt like someone is walking towards me, hoping it was help, but what I saw was a guy running towards the hostel. Somehow I freed myself from these guys and rushed back straight to my room. Oh, it was a weird night, I said to myself, before pulling covers over my face and drifting to sleep. Alex POV. When I came back home, I gave all the details to my dad about the new kids and went back to my room. It was pretty late, so I tried sleeping, but I just couldn't. Every time I closed my eyes, all I could see were those eyes, the beauty of him. Him. Yes, I am gay, but there is a catch. Nobody except me knows this about me. I am too scared to let out my secret, especially to my parents. What if that happens again? What happened 10 years back? What if they push me away from my love again? I can't bear that, so it's better I keep this a secret, or even die with it. Days passed, and Kate was still struggling because of language, and Alex felt the pressure and guilt growing every day because of college. 2 weeks later, I was walking back to the hostel to check up on a few things until I bumped into someone. Hey man, I'm so sorry, I said, but I stopped when I noticed a boy standing in front of me. It's alright, he said. But how do you know I don't speak German? You apologized in English. Well, it's easy to figure out, I said. Hi, my name's Alex, I said, forwarding my hand for a handshake. Kate, nice to meet you, he said, but I was taken aback. Kate, I repeated again. Yes, he said. I remembered something, or rather, someone I tried forgetting, but this can't be true. This is not the Kate I'm thinking about. So, what are you doing here? I asked Kate. Oh, I actually moved here a month back, he replied. And you? Do you live here? He asked. Oh no, my parents own this place, so I come in for some checkups, I said, looking at him, trying not to sound nervous. Okay, I'll catch up with you later. I have to struggle my way in to get some coffee, Kate said, while scrunching his nose. Are you sure you can manage? I mean, with the language, I asked him. Honestly, no. I haven't been able to get a single cup until now, and I tried different cafes. Now I'm running out of cafes, said Kate, making me laugh. No worries, I will help you. Come with me, I told, walking towards Kate. We walked together to get him some coffee, and oh man, the satisfied look he had on his face was funny and calming for me. But I kept reminding myself that I can't fall for it. Fall for him. We both went back home after a short conversation. This wasn't it for me. I couldn't hold myself, but I kept going back to him, pretending I have some work always, whereas the truth is I started following his schedule. I was just so drawn to him. I felt so natural. Kate always offered me to go with him to cafes, and I gladly went with him whenever I got the chance. Hey, so I was thinking, since you're fluent in German and little do I know that you're struggling with academics, how about we make a deal? Alex said, leaving me confused. What deal? I asked him back. How about I help you with academics and you help me with some German? We both have a month before college starts. We both could use some help. The deal was actually a good one, and I couldn't refuse. Not because I needed help in academics. I mean, of course I did, but more because I got to spend time with Kate without making an excuse. I was, anyways, running out of excuses. Sure, I said happily. That's a great deal, man. We shook hands and parted our ways. Soon we started meeting almost every day. Kate would teach me some maths, and I started with basic German, like teaching him how to ask for coffee or how to shout for help in case he gets in trouble. Hey, I heard Kate say, and I turned around. Hey, what are you doing here? I asked him, as I was not expecting him to meet me today. Nothing, I just missed my friend, so I thought why not go and see him. Plus, we can work on some history now, he said, making me chuckle. Yeah, sure, anytime. Any help. I said as I grabbed his hands without realizing, but stopped. Immediately, we both looked at each other and I let go of his hand. I'm sorry, I didn't... It's okay. Let's go now, he said, cutting me off and saving me from embarrassment. We walked towards an empty seat in the park. I'm not gonna lie, I was happy. I couldn't stop smirking, thinking of today, his hand in mine. But I was losing focus, so I cleared my throat and we sat. Hey, what's the book you always carry? I asked Kate as I noticed him with a brown-color old book which he always carries with himself. Oh, this? Nothing. It's just my journal, he said, and we moved from that topic. 2 weeks passed, and I didn't realize when I fell for him. Yes, I'm in love with Kate. Shit, I screamed at the top of my lungs, cursing myself that how did I let this happen? This is not right. I have to stop myself. No, I can't do this again. I can't lose my love again. I kept talking to myself, looking like a madman until I got a hold of myself and sat down on my bed. My phone ringed. It was Kate. I smiled, but a little scared. Can we meet today? His text read. Sure, be right there, I replied back and pulled my coat. I thought of stopping by the cafe to get us both some coffee. As I entered the cafe, I heard Josh calling my name. Josh is a cafe owner who knows both me and Alex because we're pretty much his regular customers. Hey Josh, can you make me some soy latte to go? I ordered, taking out cash. Sure, sir. Also, Kate visited early this morning and forgot his book. So do you mind taking it with you? Said Josh, handling me the old brown color book which Kate always carries with him. Curiosity rose in me and I sat down at the table. I thought well before opening the journal. 10 minutes later, halfway through his journal, I was shocked and sobbing. It's him, I said softly. It was the same Kate I fell in love with in California before my parents moved us all to Germany. I was heartbroken and happy at the same time. His journal read, I can't do this anymore. I'm not going to suffer and follow my heart. Follow my Alex. I will find him no matter what, and nothing can stop me from loving him anymore. After reading it, I knew that Kate knows who I am, and all of this happened was planned. And I was so grateful that this happened because I would never have the guts to do something this crazy and tell even a soul that I'm in love. That too with a man. So I decided to let it flow and pretend like I didn't know anything. He is still the Kate that is helping me go to a college, and I'm still the Alex that is his language buddy. I get up holding his journal and coffee and walk towards his dorm. I knocked on the door and he opened it. Hey, got us some coffee and your journal. You forgot it at the cafe today, I said, noticing a nervous look on his face as he snatched the book out of my hands. Easy boy, I didn't read it. Yeah, sorry, and thanks for getting the book and coffee, he said, chuckling. We sat down and he opened some flashcards he made for me to study easily. He started teaching me and I kept looking at him. That's it. I can't hold it in anymore, I said, and smashed my lips to his without caring for another second. To my surprise, he didn't push me back, but gave in the kiss. What was that for? He said, gently pushing me back. Listen, Kate, I'm sorry. I should have asked first, but Kate, I love you. I have since I saw you that night with those drunk kids, I blurted out. Wait, it was you that day? Why didn't you help me, you jerk? He said, softly hitting on my arm. I'm sorry, I got scared and ran away. I lied to him because I can't let him know how big of a loser I am, who cannot even accept his own identity and face the world as gay. I love you too, Alex, ever since... Well, never mind, I just love you. I have from a long time, he said, cupping my cheeks with his hands and pulling me in for another kiss. That was the best day of my life. Soon after a few days, I applied for college again, same one as my boyfriend will go to. I'm so excited to call him my boyfriend now. And good news, I got in. Everyone was so happy and decided to throw me a party. Invited Kate over to my house for the first time. I was so excited that I couldn't think of anything but Kate. 7 p.m., he came to my house and met everyone, even my parents. There was fear all over me, which Kate sensed and helped me by keeping us a secret. Hey, let's go to my room, I told him, and show him the way to my room. I closed the door and pushed everything aside, holding Kate's hand, and pulling him into a deep kiss. I had goosebumps all over my body and I could feel his too. We kept kissing until the door popped open and it was my mom, standing shocked in front of us. Mom, let me explain, I said in fear. Kate, leave, my mom said. Mom, no, I screamed, but she ignored. She removed my hand from his and took him outside the room, locking me inside. I was crushed. This was the day I always feared. How can this happen? Not again. I can't live like this. I have to do something. I thought and kept banging on the door, hoping for someone to open so I can go see my Kate again. I was praying that it was a nightmare and that I would get up from this dream, but everything was real. I was stuck here for the next 3 days without being able to reach Kate. I called, texted, left voice notes, mails, everything, but got no reply. I was devastated. I decided to sneak out when my mom comes in to bring me food. I waited for 2 hours quietly. The doorknob turned, leaving the door open where my mom was standing with the plate. I knew this was the moment. I rushed outside without any regrets. I heard her scream from the back, calling out my name, but that's it. I can't hide anymore. I ran and ran and ran without stopping for my love, like I should have 10 years back. I lost him once, but I won't lose him again. When I reached the hostel, I noticed his room was empty. There was no one. I started crying, knowing I lost him until I noticed a small note behind the door. I reached out for it and read, I know you will come, Alex. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow, maybe someday, but I know you will come for your Kate. Accept yourself and fear no one. I will always love you, and I will wait for you. Yours, Kate. I bawled my eyes out. I screamed and cried like never before. I knew the note was written today, so I ran out without wasting any time. I checked the park, in the cafe, in the basement near the tree, behind the hostel. Everywhere Kate and I went before I found him, nowhere. Without wasting another second, I grabbed a taxi and rushed to the airport. I saw a yellow suitcase that Kate and I often bumped into when kissing in his dorm. I shouted, Kate, hold on. I ran towards him, shouting his name, breaking all the security, knowing I'm ending up in jail after this, but I couldn't care less. I called out his name until he finally heard me and turned about. He smiled and ran towards me, jumping in my arms. I held him tight. I couldn't let him go again. Don't go. Just stop. I will make it all right, I whispered into his ears while still hugging him. He broke the hug and looked at me. Okay, Alex. I love you so much, he said. I love you too, Kate, I said, connecting our foreheads together. Stop right here, sir. We heard police and security scream and running towards us. I knew there was no way to escape now, so we stood there still, holding hands and looking at each other. The security straight up put us both in the lockup. I had no choice but to call my mom. Hello, Mom? Can you help me out? I said, sobbing, hoping she would forget how I got out of the house. 30 minutes later, heard my mom's voice calling out my name. Mom, here, I said back, and she walked towards the lockup. She didn't look that surprised after seeing Kate, though. We both walked towards her, standing on the other side of the bars. Mom, I'm sorry. I know what I did was wrong, but I got scared that you would push me away from him again like you did 10 years back. so I never had the guts to tell you. But Mom, I am gay, and I love Kate. I said everything out without wasting a second. My mom was both shocked and confused. Oh, Alex, I never pushed you away from anyone. I didn't even know you were gay until 3 days back. What are you talking about? She asked me. 10 years back when we shifted from California to Germany. Isn't this the reason that, I loved Kate back then? This time both Mom and Kate looked at me confused. Sorry, Kate, but I read your journal the other day and I know you followed me all the way here. And Mom, I love Kate. Please don't separate us again, I begged her. Son, I didn't know you liked Kate then. We moved because your dad got transfer orders and I had no other choice but to shift. I never pushed you away from anyone, and I never will. I didn't believe anyone can love each other this much until I saw you leaving today. And you don't have to be scared. There's nothing wrong about you or anyone being gay. My mom said, leaving me speechless. Then why'd you kick Kate out of the party and why'd you lock me up? I asked her, being both emotional and angry. Because I got scared. I never had anyone like this with me ever. I don't know anyone who is gay. Well, now I know you, but I got scared of how others will take it and what will happen to you. But none of that matters anymore. Your love can fight anything, so go on and love each other endlessly. My mom said, making all three of us cry out loud. If you're done, please leave and save us from this drama, we heard the officer say, and we laughed. He opened the lockup for us and we all went out. 1 year later, Kate and I finished our college, and he got so much better at German, and I managed to pass in all the subjects as well. It was time to decide the future plans. So what now? Asked Kate. I'm going back to California. I just came for a year hoping I would find you and love you from afar, but see how things turned out. However, I can't stay here, but also can't stay without you, Kate said. You don't have to, Kate. From now on, we'll never be apart, I said, connecting our foreheads and giving him a small kiss. What do you mean? He asked, pulling away from the kiss. My family and I decided that I will move back to California and open my own cafe, brew amazing coffee for my love, and settle there with you. You can become the author like you always wanted to, ever since we were kids, I said, which brought tears in his eyes. You sure about that? Kate asked. 100%, my love. Now help me pack, I said, holding his hand and walking out of the dorm. The end. Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing to become part of our Rainbow Force and stay wholesome.